Guys, I cannot stop watching the dragon scene from the Spoils of War. I actually think it's probably the best dragon scene we've ever had in live action. And I've actually got a couple reasons to back me up on this. Let's talk about it. What is up, YouTube? It's Josh. This is the Den of Nerds. Holy crap. Wow. That dragon scene at the end of episode 4 of Game of Thrones Season 7 was unbelievable. It was unbelievable. It was seriously one of the coolest scenes I have ever seen. I have watched that show 4 separate times, The Spoils of War. I think it's one of the best, if not the best episode of Game of Thrones ever. But in particular, that dragon scene at the end of the episode was the hypest of the hype. It was crazy, and I actually think that there are a couple of different reasons why this scene works so much better than some of the scenes we have seen in other movies that utilize the dragon, whether that be some of the old Dragonheart movies, whether that be Reign of Fire with Matthew McConaughey and Christian Bale, or whether that be one of the Hobbit films with Smaug. All of those different versions of dragon scenes come up just a little bit short compared to this one. And so in this video, I just basically want to nerd out about this dragon scene, and I'm going to give you 3 reasons why I think this is the best dragon scene that we have ever had on live action. Reason number 1 is the perspective. So much of what makes this scene great is the point of view. The fact that this is an army and we set up the scene with that army gives it such an interesting perspective. It literally and figuratively grounds the scene, and it becomes our connection to the carnage through Jaime and Bronn. There were several parts during this battle where we are in their heads watching what is happening, and it is absolutely insane. The Bronn moment where he is on that ballista and aiming it at the dragon was so bittersweet and so tense. I was literally on the edge of my seat saying, Bronn, don't you kill that dragon, because Bronn's one of my favorite characters, and I would be so conflicted if he killed the dragon or Daenerys. It was ridiculous, but that scene and what precedes it when he's going through the battle, seeing the people on fire, is like so real, and it makes the perspective of the shot. It makes the scene itself. And similarly, at the end of the battle and several times during it, when we get to see Jaime looking around and seeing this carnage, trying to command these men when he brings the archers in and it doesn't matter, when he tells Bronn to go to the ballista, all of these different things, it really grounds it, and it culminates at the end, of course, when he charges Daenerys on the ground. And, we have him, we have Daenerys, we have Tyrion up afar watching it, super conflicted. So because of all these people that are actually on the ground, the entire battle is it's grounded, and it really just shows off the awesomeness and the might of the dragon when you start in with the soldiers. It's also crazy that this is a battle beyond just what was happening with the dragon. This is maybe 5,000, 10,000 of the Dothraki charging this Lannister army that's basically spread really, really thin. I mean, that's particularly amazing. And the sight of the Dothraki coming across that open field. I mean, obviously, you've heard it said many times, but it calls back to season 1 when Robert is talking to Cersei and saying only a fool would meet the Dothraki in open battle, and you see it happening, and it's crazy and it's beautiful. I mean, then on top of all of that, you hear that roar, that screech, and then you just know it's happening, and you see the dragon come through the clouds and just start to wreck, and it breaks through the line. The fire was amazing, and the perspective of all of that being on the ground is really what makes this, to me, one of the best dragon scenes ever.
Just plan! Set up again! They call, the nature boy!
Number 2, the number 2 reason this is the best is because of the production. I mean, holy crap, this scene had to cost millions and millions of dollars. Like, it looked amazing. The CGI work on the dragon was ridiculous. there's so much good stuff going on here that it obviously took a ton of money. Now, this shows us, of course, the benefit of them shrinking the season down, but it also kind of makes me, for the first time ever, okay with the fact that they haven't shown Ghost recently at all. The explanation for that was that they're saving their CGI money for the dragon. And look, before we got this scene, that pissed me off because I was like, no, it can't be that hard to do a Ghost, just do Ghost. But now after I see that money in action, I'm like, nah, it's cool. Like, Ghost is off doing something else. It's okay. Who gives a fuck? That dragon though. Oh my God, that shit looked dope. But it's more than just the CGI on the character, you know, and as I said in the perspective thing, the fact that it's grounded was crazy. But there have been a ton of videos that have come out from HBO and other sources about the time and the effort and the production of making that scene. They had an unprecedented amount of stunt doubles, and they were lighting more stunt doubles on fire than ever before. That's my understanding of it. And they just went crazy with this 360 and 180 degrees of production out there on the set, using this paint, using the flames and the smoke, and touching that up with CGI. But damn, they go in. I mean, these are real horses. These are people riding for real. They got a ton of stunt doubles, a ton of great high quality people working on the production of these things, not just in the CGI sense, but in the practical sense. I'm a huge fan of practical effects, and that's one of the beautiful things that Game of Thrones is able to do. If you look at what they did in Battle of the Bastards, and you look at what they did in this fight, it's really, really grounded. They've pushed the limits of what they're able to do with practical effects, and they bring the noise when it comes to CGI, so it's this perfect blending of what is possible and what really pops on the screen.
Yo, pop, pop, pop.
The last reason that this is the best dragon scene ever put on screen is the build-up. And this is just something that a lot of other properties is never going to be able to accomplish. You're talking about 6 seasons of episodes and character stories that have been winding, crazy, unbelievable, and dark. You have found yourself in a position where you truly care about all of the people on all sides of this thing, and yet you kind of almost hate all of them too. You could see them dying and you being okay with it, but you could see them dying and you being furious. It's a crazy thing that Game of Thrones has accomplished over its runtime, which, by the way, if you were to sit down and try to watch all of Game of Thrones in one setting, it would be over 2 days straight of watching, which is just crazy to think of. But this is the power of building a long, well thought out narrative like this. Now, I have been a critic of certain aspects of the show, especially season 5. But with all of its little misses aside, the show has done a super solid job over the years of continuing to build these character moments and grow this narrative organically. And it's really paid off in this dragon scene. We have been waiting 6 seasons to get Daenerys on a dragon, fucking shit up, and it's been a long, agonizing wait. In fact, there have been memes about it. South Park popularized a parody about how it's coming, and at this point, one almost had to begin to wonder if we were ever going to truly get the jollies that we thought we were going to deserve after all of this waiting. And so all of that hype and all of that buildup led up to this glorious moment in Game of Thrones, which is going to be watched and rewatched over and over again. This is a pop culturally important episode of television, and I'm super excited to say that because we're only 4 issues into this season. What we get with the rest of this season and what we're going to be able to get next season is going to be ridiculous, and I'm super proud of HBO for shrinking the seasons down, getting really tight with their narrative, and making a great ending. Now look, we don't know for sure how it's going to end, but I assume if we follow these same lines of production and of thought and of story, we're going to have something incredibly satisfying at the end of all of this. So that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about in this video. Those are my 3 reasons why I think this is the best dragon scene ever put to live action. Let me know your thoughts. Do you disagree? Is there a scene you'd put above it? How hype are you on Game of Thrones? Let's talk some Game of Thrones in the comment section below. As I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and nerdy day. See ya!
See, lady, this is all we need. A couple of smokes, a cup of coffee, and a little bit of conversation.